Senator Hawley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for calling this important hearing. Thanks to our witnesses for being here. Mr. Stern, if I could just start with you. I see that 5 or 6 days ago you gave an interview in which you said that the removal of Mahmoud Khalil, the pro-Hamas foreign rioter, is a form of McCarthyism and makes Jewish students less safe. Now, this is an individual who has been accused of endorsing and espousing terrorist activity, who has been accused of lying on his application to a green card in the United States, who is currently being sued for terrorizing and assaulting Jewish students. Do you stand by your view that trying to remove him is a form of McCarthyism?
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, patriots of this great nation, welcome back to the channel where we tell it like it is and stand up for America. Today we're diving into one of the most jaw-dropping, infuriating, and downright disgraceful moments from the Senate floor in recent memory. Senator Josh Hawley absolutely eviscerated a so-called expert witness, a man who actually had the audacity to defend a pro-Hamas rioter, Mahmoud Khalil. Buckle up, because we're not holding back.
Absolutely, Senator.
Why in the world would that be the case?
Let me answer. He hasn't been charged with the crime. The clear predicate for this, White House said, was handing out pro-Hamas propaganda. When you start talking about people's views and what they're talking about in the public square as a basis for discrimination, and then the effect on Jewish students, it's not just the fact that Jews may be seen as, well, we're pushing this and that's going to happen. The way that this is going to harm Jewish students is it harms the academy.
Wait a minute. My time is limited. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just wait a minute. I've got to correct numerous inaccuracies there. Number one, as you very well know, United States law says that a non-citizen is inadmissible for entry into this country if they, and I quote, endorse or espouse terrorist activity or persuade others to do the same. That same law provides you can be removed for the same reasons. That is what Mr. Khalil has been accused of. He has further been accused of by the United States government lying on his visa application. That on its own would be sufficient to remove him from this country. He is being sued, as you and I sit here in New York court, by the victims of October 7th for terrorizing and assaulting Jewish students, unlawfully taking over and damaging public university property, and physically assaulting Columbia University employees. And you're telling me that it's McCarthyism to remove this individual?
Senator, the deportation was started before that lawsuit, before that second question about what he was saying on his forms.
No, this is what the government has alleged in open court, Mr. Stern. This is the basis for their removal proceedings. And our law makes clear if you endorse or espouse terrorist activity, you can be removed from this country. He has done so. He's been accused of doing so from the beginning. He's been accused of lying to get into the country. I'm amazed that you're saying that this is McCarthyism.
Senator, you weren't here when I quoted part of what Justice Brandeis was talking about the back at a case where there's somebody that was convicted for supporting the Communist Party because they were talking about violence as a political solution. And Brandeis cautioned us that this type of robust speech, as long as—
This isn't speech. Lying on a visa application is not speech. Seeking to assault Columbia University employees and Jewish students is not speech. You are defending an individual who has espoused the destruction of this country, the destruction of the state of Israel, the destruction of Jews, and has taken actions in furtherance of the same. You've also said that investigating the 60 colleges and universities that are currently under investigation by the Trump administration for anti-Semitism is a form of weaponizing anti-Semitism for political benefit. You're opposed to investigating these institutions for anti-Semitism?
Senator, I've been very clear that OCR has a very important role, that there are complaints that should go through the process. When you start using the Department of Justice and threatening universities' funding—
You are opposed, I just want to get this on the record, you are opposed to investigating Columbia University and others for anti-Semitism?
No.
That's what you said 6 days ago.
I am not opposed to doing it the right way. With
What does that mean, doing it the right way?
Not to claw back funds, not to say we're holding you ransom. we're getting your faculty, Jewish.
You were asked about an investigation for failing to protect Jewish students, and you said that's just weaponizing anti-Semitism. It makes students less safe.
It is when the
I think that's
Department of
crazy.
Justice has a list of places they want to go to. The Senator Markey's question.
Oh, I heard Senator Markey's questions. I heard his whole speech. I thought it was insane. I just want to say for the record, I thought it was totally insane. And I think your positions are similarly insane. I think the idea that we would bend over backwards to hug and kiss and make nice to a pro-Hamas rioter, because that's what Khalil is, and that we would say, heavens, we can't remove him, and that makes Jewish students less safe on our campuses? That's nuts.
Senator,
That's nuts.
To Rabbi Saberstein's point, if you look at American history, the times where Jews were most vulnerable was during the Palmer raids in World War I, when there was political...
Jews are vulnerable now on our campuses because of people like Khalil, and I want to say for the record, I'm glad he's gone, and I hope he never comes back.
Senator Hickenlooper.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you all for your time here and all your work.
Now, let's break this down. Khalil is accused of endorsing terrorism, lying to get into this country, and assaulting Jewish students at Columbia University. And yet, what does Mr. Stern, this so-called expert, say? He calls it McCarthyism to remove him. Are you kidding me? Since when did it become McCarthyism to follow the law? Since when did enforcing national security become a bad thing? This is what the radical left does. Folks, they take real threats and try to turn them into victims, while completely ignoring the actual victims of violence and terrorism. Oh, so he hasn't been formally charged yet? You know what that reminds me of? Every leftist DA who refuses to press charges on criminals running rampant in our streets. But here's the thing. Khalil has been accused by the government of lying on his visa application. That alone is grounds for removal. Our immigration laws are clear. If you lie to get into this country, you can be deported. Period. Why is this even a debate? Let's talk about the fact that this guy is being sued by victims of the October 7th attacks. That's right. He's not just some activist with strong opinions. He is actively involved in terrorizing Jewish students, taking over university property, and physically assaulting school employees. But according to the left, he's the real victim. Give me a break. This is exactly why people are losing trust in our institutions, because these so-called experts are more concerned with protecting radicals than protecting the American people. And then we get to one of the most insane parts of this whole hearing. Mr. Stern, in all his wisdom, says that investigating universities for anti-Semitism is weaponizing anti-Semitism. What? So let me get this straight. The DOJ investigating pro-Hamas lunatics on campus is bad, but these universities allowing open Jew hatred to fester is totally fine? This is exactly why these schools are out of control. If a university harbors anti-Semitic extremists, they should lose their funding. The American taxpayer should not be paying for terrorist propaganda. Oh, and let's not forget about Senator Ed Markey, whose comments were so ridiculous that even Hawley, who's used to dealing with leftist nonsense, had to call them insane. And he was absolutely right. The left is so blinded by their obsession with identity politics and their hatred for conservatives that they're willing to defend people who openly support terrorism. It's disgusting, and it's dangerous. Folks, this is what we're up against. We have politicians and so-called experts who are more worried about offending a pro-Hamas rioter than they are about protecting American students. We have radical activists masquerading as academics, pushing an anti-American agenda, and trying to gaslight the rest of us into thinking we're the bad guys for demanding accountability. Well, I say no more. If you love this country, if you believe in law and order, and if you stand with Israel and against terrorism, then it's time to make your voice heard. Like this video, share it with everyone you know, and hit that subscribe button. The left wants to silence us, but we will not be silent. This is our country, and we're going to fight for it.